Hey guys, today I'm sitting down with two of my university friends, Diane, a year 4 humanities major, and Faye, a year 3 English major at HKBU. Faye was one of those who turned on their cameras during Zoom lessons back in year 2 semester 2, so that's how I recognized her when she came back for classes this past semester in year 3. While Diane is in fact the Model United Nations Club's vice president, so as a fellow EXCO member, I can't not know her. We had a look into each of their unique journeys, not only in English, but also in their growth as a person. They also talked about their fair share of advice for wannabe English and humanities majors, overcoming adversity, and studying in Hong Kong as mainland students. So grab a cup of tea for this over an hour-long conversation between the three of us. Enjoy the chat. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today I have two very special guests beside me, and they're my classmates from HKBU. And so could you tell me your names, your year, and your major? Tell them.
So hi everyone, I'm Diane. I am a final year student. I'm majoring in humanities. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Fei. I'm in year 3 and my major is English.
And both of them have very incredible stories to tell. And so I'm not going to do much talking today. I'm going to let them do the talking, and I'll be asking questions. No pressure, guys, but just take it easy. So first off, I'd actually like to know more about your background in terms of English learning. Like, what's your journey of learning English since maybe whenever you want to start from, like maybe you were a kid or maybe when you were in high school up until now, what was the journey like?
Well, for starters, maybe perhaps in high school, and my teacher would always recommend some English novels. So it started as a journey of literature, English literature, and I found that quite fascinating. So I read a lot of English poems and also novels, and I also started to write stories of my own as well, and also poems. I think English is really a beautiful language, and it's really important that you immerse yourself in that kind of cultural context. Yeah.
Okay, for me, it was started at my first year in high school, and our English class is based on some English novels. But at that time, I didn't quite really like it. I just think I can read some translated version and just finish my homework. I think in my high school years, I did quite bad in English. That's something I didn't want to remember. But I'm a student who go to the college entrance examinations, so I just study like everyone who study English in the mainland China. And when I got here, I found very hard because in China we write some English. I say it's like 15 words, but here we write something about 2,000 words. That pushed me to the English study.
Right. So, but then, because you mentioned 150. So what was it like? Both of you talked about starting from high school, but what was it like when you were kids, even younger? How did you first? When did you first started getting to know more about English?
That would be very young and very little. But at that time, I'm not very interested in learning that kind of language. I was really wanted to learn Chinese, advanced Chinese, and also Chinese literature. That's also my interest as well. So when I was a kid, I'm not quite attracted to that language. So I would say literature is the bond that I have.
So really high school literature, and then you really fell in love with English.
Yes.
Yeah, for me it's from the kindergarten, and my parents threw me into some class with foreign teachers, and we watched some Disney movie like that. I found quite interesting, but after all I have to go to the exam, so I did that class. I really hate this kind of studies, so just I'm interested in English first, but then I abandoned it.
Because for me, I started with like you did, cartoons and stuff, the really casual side of things. And then but then when I went to primary school, even though I watched all these English cartoons, I enjoyed them. Like I was still very bad at it, and then it showed when I failed my first English test when I was back in primary 1. Yeah, and then I was put into tutorial classes too. So yeah, I guess. But you didn't take tutorial classes.
I did, even though my English was good at that time. But my parents are not my parents. Maybe perhaps my father, because I did really poor at math, that kind of stuff. So they wanted to balance between, because I can't do very good at math. So there's
but not English. Like you don't have English tutorial lessons.
But they think I can do better at English, so they also put me advanced tutorials, that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
That started
in secondary school.
Oh, not until secondary school.
In secondary school.
Okay, so because I started in primary school, but then ended in primary school, then never had. Well, I did, but it was for exam oriented.
Yeah, also for exam.
That was exam oriented, but back in primary school, it was really getting fun, to really learn the basics of the language, not anything exam oriented, not at all, back in primary school.
Yeah. I don't really understand that language in primary school. It's not. Yeah, only in secondary school, so I began to kind of learn that language. Really learn that language.
Really learn. Right.
Yeah, I think I have the tutorial in my primary school too, and it's just in some case with a foreign teacher sitting in a room, and the teacher bring you a topic, and he or she just introduction some words to you, and just then we talk and we play games this casual way. But then I began to get into the exam orientation tutorial, and that's really not.
I mean, yeah, in mainland China, perhaps also in Hong Kong, is all those kind of tutorials. They are all exam oriented. It's only for the exam. It's not for you to taste the beauty of the language.
I've heard of in the U.S. they say many mainland Chinese students get into Harvards and the Stanfords.
Yeah.
But then a lot they absolutely smash the written exams, and then they only have written exams. So when they actually get into the schools, then the teachers found out they don't even know how to maybe
talk.
Yeah, they can't speak at all. But then their written papers are excellent.
Yes, that's exactly the problem.
Yeah.
So you guys were also in those sort of exam oriented.
I mean, in mainland China, you must exam oriented.
If you go to the original high school, you do that.
We work we don't have a choice, but now it's different. In universities, it's different. You can really taste the beauty of the language, and you can really explore and to find out what you're really into, and that's an opportunity. But before that, you have to take the test, right, to get in.
To get through the system.
Yeah, to get through the system. I didn't take the 高考.
Yeah.
I didn't take.
You didn't take Gaokao?
I didn't take. I don't want to take it.
What did you take?
So in my final year at high school, I went to Shanghai for a year to study, and that program is meant for overseas kind of preparation for program.
What kind, SAT or?
Yes, SAT and IELTS, that kind of stuff. So you can choose to go to Hong Kong, Macau, or Australia, England. But my father thinks Hong Kong is closer to home, so I went to Hong Kong.
So you took SAT or
SAT, and
SAT.
Also IELTS.
And IELTS.
And then I went to CTU for associate degree in cultural studies. So at the beginning, you asked me my majors from cultural studies.
That's why. I'm not going to cut it out there.
So yeah, and I studied 2 years at CTU, and then I come to BU just last year actually, and studying humanities.
Okay, then. Knowing that you have to face these in China especially, you have to get through this system of exams, then what would be your advice then? Because a lot of people maybe they feel like they are not in love with the language, and so they have to learn with this exam-oriented way. Like now that you've experienced both, like you have been in that system and you've got out of it, like you're in university and you have a chance to taste, really to learn with freedom, so-called. Like what would be some advice for, fellow students then? Like they are in that stage, but then they struggle and then they don't find the interest. Like what would be your advice for them to conquer this then?
I know it's hard, and at that time for me it's also very difficult. I spent a year in Shanghai, and that was really difficult. Even experienced some kind of depression, mental depression at that time. So I also went alone in Shanghai as well. But I get through it by maybe a strong heart. You got to know that at some point in your life, after that kind of difficult period, you will realize that it's all worth it. It's all worth trying, and things will get better. But before that, you need to know that it's kind of, there are things in your life that you have to go through, that you have to get prepared, and it's not like you can do whatever you want. And there are also boundaries, and there are also kind of things you really need to know about yourself. And by learning that in that system, you might know, I don't like that system. The question is how I can get rid of it. And if you don't have this kind of determination to, get rid of it, then you really need to work hard. And that's what I say, work hard, and also never kind of lose your goal. You have to set up a goal, and you have to believe in yourself that eventually you will get out, and you will see the hope at some point, and I believe you will. And for me, it's a really kind of inspiring story, because in Shanghai it's really, really difficult, and for the other kids they are doing quite well in that kind of exams, but at that time I wasn't good at them, so I tried a lot of times and I've also failed. But look at me now, I got publications, I got the highest GPA in my program, so I also kind of succeed at some point. So I got what I wanted. So I think you will also get what you wanted as long as you keep trying and moving forward.
When it comes to the mental problem, I think under this system, much of us suffering from the mental problem. It's not something wrong with you, but you should just get through it. I know it's hard, and me myself is suffering from the mental problem until now. And I just think to be optimistic, look at the good side of the things, and just understand what you want. And if you find something you want to get, it will be much easier for you to get through those hard days. Yeah.
So have that really long-term goal, because I just posted this video about goal setting.
Yeah,
and then,
I saw it.
And then it's about maybe 5 years, you have to goals in different time points. Yeah. So I guess it's to have that really long goal. So even though right now it sucks, in whatever in Gaokao or getting through SATs and IELTS to get here to Hong Kong, maybe it sucks, but hopefully you beat the system here. You don't complain about it. You get out of there, and then hopefully in university and in your career, then you could really do the things you like. After you emerge as one of the top people. Yeah, I guess that's.
Yeah, just focus on what you want, what you really want.
Just focus on the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about some of your expectations and reality. So the contrast between the two. Before you get into universities with English, with humanities or cultural studies, what were your expectations? Going in there, you think, oh, maybe with English it's about language or literature. It's something like that. But then when you go in there, is it different or it's the same thing? It's what you guys expected. Let's say with English first.
Okay. I think maybe for most mainland China students, I think before I enter the university, I have never heard about what is linguistics is. Yeah, that's something true. I think when it comes to the English major, most of the mainland China students will think, this is about something about translation, or I'm going to be a English teacher in the primary school like that. But I think,
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
But I think just I come from Beijing. I think Beijing is a quite open city, and even from there, I'm from a really good high school in Beijing. We didn't hear about linguistics, and I think the world is much more than I expected. I entered the BA program without the major at the first year, and when I come to the BU, I have take some 106 class, and from that time I really understand what will be my things, what will be my major, and frankly speaking, I didn't know much more about what I'm going to do before I enter the university.
Because like with it, talking about like English, I didn't. Well, I've heard about with in secondary school, there's nothing. I don't know. Maybe in all. More likely, but then if you're talking like traditional Hong Kong schools, then very few that have it.
In fact, I did have the English literature class in my high school years, but as I just said before, I didn't feel I like it. So I've never think about one day I will be an English major sitting here.
Looking at literature.
Yeah. I'm not that literature kind person.
Yeah, you're doing linguistics, cause.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the only literature person in the room. More oriented, right? Cause humanities.
I was maybe the quite opposite kind of experience with her. So back in high school, I really wanted to learn English literature. So I'm going to if I lucky enough to get into universities, I would definitely choose English language or English literature. But I didn't. I ended up in cultural studies and also humanities. But I think it's also fun. But
I'm assuming only because which is somehow interrelated with literature. I don't know. There must be some elements.
You mean
in the humanities?
Yes, you can choose some of the courses. But I wouldn't say it's not a big component in humanities.
Not the biggest component.
Yeah. So it's basically more related with cultural studies, philosophy, literature is just small kind of component, and it's free elective or just elective courses, not compulsory.
Then tell me more about like humanities then, because I don't know anything about you. Yeah.
Gender studies. There are some, not some, but one compulsory course that you have to take. Maybe introduction to the humanities. What is humanities? We always search for meaning, and also in art as well. And also history, some kind of related with history, and also politics as well. So maybe Asia, these courses politics related to local Hong Kong local culture as well. We have brilliant professors from all over the world, and also local professors. They are into popular culture, and also about food, and also about, it's quite broad, I would say. You can check the website as well. There's so many courses that they are offering.
It's like now that, because you talk history and gender studies, and all these could be majors themselves, it seems.
Yes.
I think they offer, like, they have gender studies majorly. I mean, even if BU, we have history or something. Like, these are
gender concentration. You can choose, or media concentration, or art concentration. But I didn't choose any of them.
Oh, you didn't choose?
I don't think I have time for that because I have to take more courses. And I only,
if you choose a concentration?
Yeah.
Wow,
but it's gonna show in your choice.
Oh, that doesn't really matter because did you choose a concentration? Because I haven't, but I probably am not going to as well.
I'm trying. I just say I'm trying. I don't think I have time to take 2 extra literature courses. I just say it's weird. You take 2 more literature class than the students who have no concentration.
It's kind of weird in English majors. If you to be classified as, for example, a language concentration, you have to take at least 2 literature courses, and then take 8 language courses. So actually, that means, like, for example, if I take 10 courses, but I didn't take a single literature course, I take 10 language courses, I'm not qualified as a language concentration. But someone who takes less language courses than I do, but took like 2 literature courses, they are language concentration students. Which sounds like doesn't make sense at all. Like, I don't. Is it the same for humanities?
And for humanities, it's like if you're interested in gender studies, then you may take like more courses to get this kind of concentration.
But you still have to, like, everyone has to say like 100 credits. But if you want to concentrate in a certain area, you have to take like 120.
Yeah, I guess you have to take
so
more.
To concentrate in something, you have to take more.
Yeah, you have to take more. But I don't have time for more,
For us, take less.
Take less. Well, I guess it's not take less. At least we're still like only fulfilling the required amount. But the distribution. But it's not.
But I also in cultural studies, like 2 years ago before I joined HKBU, I already learned quite a number of courses related to gender, literature, and
in the cultural studies.
Yeah, so I didn't take any of the concentrations because I already learned quite a lot of courses before.
So the advice would be to check the website.
Check the website and also know your own interest. If you are really interested in like gender studies or art, you can take them. I believe it.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know. If you're interested, then you're interested.
You get very limited. You have a limitation of the information you get when you are high school. So I think pretty hard. I just think do some Google search, learn more. Yeah.
I mean, you could always change your major. It's never too late. I mean, some literally finish a degree, then they start a complete new one. 4 extra years, or is it some even like finish this and then they take like 6 extra years like medicine, they suddenly go to it and then, oh, I don't want to become a doctor, they just keep on studying forever.
Yeah.
So like there are cases.
I think for me the advice would be to know your interest and know better about yourself. That's very important. And if you can't find what you're really into, at least try. Because in your first year you don't enroll in any of the programs, right? So
In first year we in arts it's like broad based.
Not for today. Today we have some
Today,
freshmen
yeah, no.
entering.
Which I myself hate the broad based system because I don't get to know any I didn't know Fay until year 3 now. Like it's completely ridiculous. I don't know. I feel like broad based is just not good at all. Maybe for those who want to explore, then I guess it's good. I've already made up my mind before I come.
Yeah,
Then,
I think the broad base for me is pretty good. I have no more about it. I have no knowledge about what we study in English, what we study in humanities, as well as you have talked before. I took the 106 class of the humanities. I found it pretty interesting. Also, I take the English one. That's great. Dr. Polly is a pretty interesting
I'm not going to badmouth any people here. I'm not going to make any comment.
Oh, okay.
No, it's good. It's good.
For safety reasons.
No safety reasons. I guess
Yeah.
different teachers. We just different students and different teachers. The mix match, the combinations. Sometimes if you're not compatible. You're not compatible. It's not because the teacher's problem. It's more like your problem.
Yeah.
It's not the teacher's problem. Looking more into the future now. What do you consider to be the career pathways of your majors? Or in fact, maybe some of us, we don't even plan on, getting jobs straight away after this. Maybe this is, because some of us, we think, maybe after humanities, we could switch to, maybe you would switch to, or maybe English, then I would switch to a complete different major in my further studies. Then English might not be my ultimate thing. So, but what are the career pathways if you are to settle on humanities, further studies still humanities, and then you're going to work? What sort of future options are there?
So I won't stop. I will definitely go for further studies. And as I said earlier, I wanted to be an academic and also a writer. So I will go for perhaps not planning to go for a PhD in the future. So perhaps I won't do it in Hong Kong, and also my master degree will also abroad, perhaps overseas. So I won't do it in Hong Kong, but there's no guarantee I won't come back. I think, as I said earlier, it's very important that you know yourself and you know what you want. That's important. But if you don't know what you want, that's okay. At some point, I believe you will find what you love. And because I think I'm quite lucky because since I was very young, I know that I wanted to be a writer, and I write. I do practice, so I know what I want. So I would say the plan for me now is quite clear, so I know what to get. But I know some people, they don't have a plan so far. I think it's also kind of great because life is full of uncertainty, and you see one thing now, but perhaps it will change, and it always changes. So I guess we'll just see what happens. For me, because it's my final year, so now I'm really working on my honors project. Because it's about research, right? I want to be a researcher, so I will add an extra effort on that. So it's gonna be a long term for me because to do PhD is gonna take
But it's gonna be master's, PhD, it's further studies, and then author, and then academic.
Yes. I hope.
I'm a totally different person. I'm always changing my mind. I think maybe for further study, I may change my major or may not. That's something I don't know till now. One reason I like the linguistics is that I study about our human. I really like studying human. I'm also interested in psychology, also criminology, those part of what kind of person we are, that. But I think, I don't know, just concentrating on this area, not go so far. So maybe still linguistics. Yeah.
Sounds like she's a humanities major. What criminology and psychology is that?
No.
Criminology isn't.
Psychology?
Psychology is.
Not
Criminology.
Not very related.
No,
I guess.
not exactly.
But I mean, it's quite hard to define what humanities learn.
Yeah.
We also can learn related to
I still don't know what you're saying
like
about it.
AI,
We should take the Daisy class.
AI as I did.
What's I said?
Yeah, you should.
Daisy, you mean like 106?
My superhero.
You mean like at the intro course humanities?
Introduction to the
Introduction.
humanities. Is,
Yeah, I'm gonna take it after I come back.
After that, you will finally understand what humanity is. It's very hard to explain, but
Right,
you will know.
I
you will taste the beauty of
Yeah, I
humanity.
feel like you never know until you try. I guess.
Yeah, I'll talk to Daisy about you.
Yeah, that would be good. Show her this video.
Okay.
Yeah, about because I don't know. I myself am quite interested in further studies as well. So like, because you talked about further studies, what is the have you like right now? You talked about like applying for schools before. What is the process of that actually? What the application and everything? What goes into it? And yeah.
Yeah. So I prepared quite early. I would say right after the last semester.
Last semester. So like year 3 finished.
Yeah. Yes. Year 3
It's
finished.
coming up soon for us.
I'm already preparing now.
You're already preparing now. Oh. Okay, go on.
First of it, you have to know what you wanted to learn. Like which institution have the strong kind of, I don't know, their specialty, maybe in arts, maybe in math, and you got to know that. You have to look up, do some research, and then narrow it down and to focus on the one that you really wanted to take. But for some like programs, they have different, I would say, it's interdisciplinary kind of approach, and you got to learn that what kind of you can look up their website for different like the faculty list and also what kind of courses they're offering, and also kind of cultural involvement, that kind of stuff. The environment is quite important. Like what kind of environment you want to put yourself in, and also get prepared for your personal statement, and also ask for recommendation letter from your professor at EU. I think it's naming 2 professors for like 2 letters.
2 letters.
2 letters. Yeah, so get connected.
Yeah.
That's important. What is like? Have you? Would it be okay if you like tell them your plan?
No,
It's fine.
I haven't.
It's
I'm
not certain.
applying.
It's still in process.
So
Yeah, we can talk about off camera.
after
Not for you
I
guys.
got the offer.
Yeah.
So it's still in
Waiting
progress.
and also in progress.
Okay.
I applied one in Europe, and it's really so slow.
Maybe not as fast as they do things in China.
Yeah, it's the slowest, and
Take
and
their
I got
time.
the results in late April, I guess, or March. And they only like interview me in February or in March.
You mean
The interview
coming?
yeah.
Also, add something.
Okay.
I think talk with your parents about your family financial situation. If you don't think I'm good enough for a scholarship, then that's a quite important thing. Study abroad costs a lot.
Yeah, but in Europe it's
Cheaper.
much
Yes,
cheaper than US and
Yeah.
UK, that kind of big country.
Right. That's
It's also hard. But there's a lot of like mainland students that I know. They would go to Hong Kong or go to UK just for 1 year. You know, the
Masters.
program
Yeah.
is 1 year.
Mhm.
I would compare Hong Kong also UK. I would recommend you guys to go to Hong Kong actually, because
for
for
mainland
master,
students.
yeah.
For everyone.
I mean, for mainland students mainly.
Okay.
Because they're the one who's watching
Yeah,
this.
most of them.
Most of
No one's
them.
watching.
And I would say the courses that I'm not saying it's not good, but I would say Hong Kong is much, you will learn a lot like in Hong Kong, but in the UK the courses, you don't have this kind of, you don't feel like that you are getting a degree there. You're more feel like you are traveling there, you know. So most of the mainland students that I know, they don't study actually.
Over in the UK.
Yeah, because they don't have many assignments and they don't have things to do, so they like traveling in the England and they're posting pictures.
I guess I'm only assuming because I do have seniors who are like at top universities in the UK, say maybe Oxford and Cambridge. I guess only maybe in the top institutes the culture is better.
Exactly.
It's not only better; it's like better by a lot.
Perhaps, yeah.
But then I guess in maybe if only this would get you there. If you're only depending on this.
It's just money.
Yeah, if it's only money. Then
I would say Hong Kong is better choice.
Even if it's just money. Then they still offer you more. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Talking about because we mentioned most of the viewers are probably from the mainland. What would be you've come here for like 4 years in Hong Kong. You've come here for 3.
Yeah.
And so, what would be your advice for the mainland students who are in high school or whatever? Maybe in high school they already want to come over in high school. What would be your advice for those who want to study here in Hong Kong in terms of maybe the culture, the living, and the study culture? What are some things you need to pay attention to?
Learn Cantonese. Learn it. Just learn. If you want to live. It's really important that in Cantonese in Hong Kong, you just really got to learn, and it's a shame for me that I didn't. I didn't try. I didn't really try, and I really wanted to try like now, but it's kind of too late,
But didn't you take Cantonese courses? So only
I
that.
didn't, because that's the compulsory course I have to take.
So after the compulsory course at BU. After that, you didn't.
I didn't
try anymore.
I mean, I have the opportunity, but I didn't.
So try. After finishing that, then you were done. You just put it aside.
Yeah, because for me, I wanted to go for overseas for further studies. So I'm also
quite busy at that point already. To say the least.
Yeah. So I just wanted to put the effort on something else instead of learning Cantonese.
Right.
But it's really important that you learn Cantonese here in Hong Kong if you want to live comfortable, be more convenient than if you go out and to hang out with local people. Yeah. And the second thing might be to just be more open-minded, and that's also very important. And also, if you want to get good grades,
yeah, that's something I want to touch on.
If you want to get good grades, talk to your professor. And always let them remember you, and talk more in class, and also try to hang out with those who also get high grades, and also know your goal. That's very important. But don't push yourself too much. You will get it at some point if you work hard enough. And just focus on the work. And there will be people who undermine your power, who make your life harder. But just focus on the work. I've been there, and it's difficult, but you will get through it. Just like I said before.
I think it's be brave. I'm the only mainland student in our class, so the first time I go to the English course, the discussing time that everyone around me speaking Cantonese. Even you ask teacher questions, they speak Cantonese.
Yeah.
I feel so alone. Yeah,
Did you ask them in English or in?
I asked them in English,
and they
reply in Cantonese.
Yeah. And that very feels so bad. Just like I'm alone, I'm isolated.
And you don't belong to any of the group.
Yeah. And you ask teacher in Cantonese, and there's something right you can do. But if you are a person me. You will feel so isolated. But what I'm saying, just to be brave, talk with your classmates in English, even your English is not good. And I think most of my classmates there can be enough to reply me in English. Yeah.
You mean in our class?
Yeah.
I didn't know people were that nice. I mean, the people I know are nice. I guess I haven't reached out to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of your classmates are nice, and I would say to go out, don't lock yourself in your own place, and also go hiking, go to the market, go to area, go Mongkok, like those places to taste what is Hong Kong's unique culture. It's charming. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you guys go out often in Hong Kong, or
not this semester.
not a lot?
Not this semester. I only like go out in holidays.
During the holidays.
Yeah.
Then perhaps weekends. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So another tip is be brave.
Be brave.
Yeah, be brave.
Brave.
Because I also experienced the same thing that she said.
How many mainland students are there? Or not only mainland students and foreign students? I guess foreign students they don't receive as much hate.
No, and there's very few mainland students, very few. And last year,
In your same year,
in my same year, only 3, include myself,
only 3.
And
And
last
then there's
year,
only 1.
Yeah, I'm only one.
So it's in arts. But if you
Go
school of
BA,
business, and then you will have a
science.
lot of
Yeah.
Yeah,
mainland friends.
apparently many mainland students like choose business and science over arts. Seems like.
No,
Yeah,
go to the
most
Department
of
of Math. Everyone
Yeah.
Mandarin.
Yeah, I have seen students from science and business from the mainland. Yeah, on that note, yeah, because then in reverse actually, like for someone, I don't know how many Hong Kong or local viewers are watching here, but then for those of us who want to go back to the mainland to study, what would be the advice? I'm gonna ask more specifically because, for example, you just mentioned about the loneliness thing.
Yeah.
Is it mainly because of the language? Because I feel like, I don't speak the perfect Putonghua, obviously, as my friends, but then I feel like even if I can communicate, say, 70-80%, I don't know, sometimes you don't just have that closeness,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You being able to communicate in your mother tongue,
Yeah.
it's a different feeling, right? Even though like Putonghua and Cantonese are already like very, very similar. Like I believe over there I could still like have very deep conversations. But say for example, if I could speak German, like I'm taking German courses, obviously I could only speak like very crap German. I mean, the only things I could do is like maybe, hopefully, I could order something in German, or like, good morning, or how are you? But it's gonna be the most basic stuff. You're never gonna go deeper than anything. That's why you feel that loneliness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And also some different culture background. When you are talking something, it's very hard to catch up. Yes.
I think for like, if you make friends with some of the locals, they are pretty much very nice, but they think differently. Like, their mode of thinking is very different from what we would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe not just the language, but I would say it's quite good for me to kind of get out of my comfort zone that I don't, because in the past like 2 years I only hang out with mainland students. I only hang because just that at the beginning. But later, after I got into BU, I don't have mainland. I also like learned really, my fourth year that I realized how important it is for like cultural exchange here. And it's a shame that I didn't like get out early that I really wish I could make friends. In my first year here, but at that time I don't want to like hang out with them because there's already enough like mainland friends around me. So it's important that you get out of your comfort zone, and
So
you will definitely.
Back at CityU, there were lots of students, mainland students.
Not many,
not
also
many,
not many,
but more.
but more like local students, but more here, more than like what in the humanities.
Okay. So maybe 3, over there it's 10, let's say.
Or there is not 10, but 9, 8.
So more, a bit more.
And we have the same goal is to get into a local like, together. Yeah.
Also, if you mentioned that also some money details in the daily life when they get together, it will become a very big thing. And I remember my first meal in the AAB canteen, and I got a plan. Here is meat, here is rice, here is can of the fruits. I think what's this? It's a junk food, not healthy at all. But I think everyone around me they get used to it. It's quite.
Is it that bad? I don't like. I feel like the ones in AB, if you're talking about the set like $28, $32 meal, isn't that the sort of stuff we get in the mainland? Because back. My sister might be even more familiar with this, but back when I was in swimming, when I went back to the mainland for training, and then in the canteen or stuff, seems like it's similar, right? No?
Just like we eat vegetables everything like that. Every meal, maybe you have one rice and maybe 2 or 3 dishes, and maybe you have 3 dishes and 2 of them will be vegetables, and in here 2 of them will be the meat, and left is the can of the fruit.
Canned fruit? I don't see canned fruit. It's
canned fruit in the AAB canteen, like canned pineapples.
Really?
Yeah.
How long? When was the last time you ate there?
Maybe.
I don't like food in BU.
I don't like food in BU.
It's terrible. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But CTU is much better. I went to that CTU every week to eat.
Stayed inside the school to eat.
Went to CTU to eat. Like almost.
Went to CTU to eat.
To eat.
Wow.
Now that you are a
Every
BU student.
Yes, I would definitely work there.
You walk there to eat.
To eat.
They allow outsiders or.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
And it also means my time in CTU as well. So
meets your time.
Meets my time there. So because I also have friends in CTU.
So spend some time with friends.
With my friends.
Like the old friends there.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought like it would be similar. There are lots of vegetables in the HBU.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the best places. It's one of the places. If you say BU is the worst, then I don't know what the things out there in terms of vegetables.
Cook by yourself. BU is quite yucky. I must say, BU is quite yucky.
You're cooking yourself.
Yeah, cooking myself.
Oh, so you bring it back to school or just go back home too?
Maybe to go back home. You know, I live very near the school. Yeah. Go back home to eat. And I think it happens when people change their cities. You will not be suitable for the climate, the food, the culture, but just get used of it.
Right. I tell my family all the time it's great. It's great for having tons of vegetables because out there in the usual restaurants, you have like none almost. In BU they have tons. You could have like 3. You could choose, right? You could choose to have like every. I don't want like every dish to be green, but like I'm saying like they have lots of greens there actually. So I don't know why you only have pineapple.
Pineapple.
I wonder why. Maybe you haven't eaten there for a long time, I guess.
Maybe I was there for a year or 2, and I just lost the confidence of the BU's canteen.
Same. It's terrible, and CTU is much better.
Yeah, but for like aside from the food, then how about like as Hong Kong students going back to the mainland, that would that do you think that would be a problem? Like, no, I think for me, I don't know the others. I'm not a picky eater, so I'm fine with. I think I'll adapt to whatever. But then, for the mental side of things.
Mental side.
You feel like do you think it would be a culture shock when we go there?
Yeah, definitely.
When you
Yeah. We as Hong Kong
are you
students.
afraid?
Are you
Because
afraid
you are
this
going to,
will be
like,
a public video?
Oh, I'm not. It's okay. It's fine.
I'm worried about it will be banned.
Will I be banned?
No, we won't talk.
We don't talk too much, but I just say
I don't. Maybe a little because I don't. Maybe I mean it also depends on your personality as well and the surroundings. The surrounding really affect your mood. And if you go like to Fudan and the people around you are open-minded, they are like very friendly, I think you will be fine. And the food is awesome in Shanghai. You can taste.
yeah,
I mean,
Shanghai is a tasty place.
You won't be in like you will enjoy yourself there.
Yeah.
I think you will.
I think, yeah.
There's quite a lot to explore in Shanghai. It's much
Yeah,
fun.
Shanghai is a quite good city.
Yeah, because mainly I feel like I don't feel like I will lose that emotional touch, like being there, not being able to speak the perfect Putonghua.
I speak very well.
I think I will. Mine is good enough for me to be able to go into the deeper conversations. Because, like you said, sometimes people. Yeah, I will maybe in class with my classmates. I talk to them in English, I guess. But most people, when they talk casually, they would want to talk in Putonghua.
Of course.
Yeah, and then I get it. Like us, we like to speak in Cantonese, but then I feel like I'd be able to adapt. Like I would be able to, just if they want to speak, let's speak Putonghua. Whatever, like as long as it's not German. If it's the three languages, then it's fine. Like Cantonese, Putonghua, and English. Whatever you like, up to you. Whatever you want to communicate.
But also, I want to say is you come to the real casual part like the local news, maybe even idol sports stars like this part. I think we have a totally different background of this.
They have you mean mainland people have a totally different interest.
Yeah. Like that. Just I don't say it's hard to explain, but you feel there's like a gap between.
The two.
Yeah, the two.
Yeah, I could maybe us over here. I guess we listen to less. Only on Apple Music, I like discover Mando pop, right? Like pop songs in Mandarin.
Yeah.
I guess we listen to less of those. I don't know. Like I guess those would be the minor differences you're talking about.
And also some sports, maybe.
Even sports.
Yeah, sports.
And also like movies.
Yeah, movies.
I mean, I don't watch movie at all, so I don't think I'll notice any differences because I don't watch any. Like the local feels. I'm only into stupid stuff like Pokemon, so it wouldn't matter. I guess those things.
But
even sports.
Yeah, I know you do swimming and soccer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even that is different.
Yeah. I think there are rare boys in the mainland China. They play soccer because you need a quite big place to play soccer.
But wouldn't I guess back in mainland there would be a lot more space?
No, they play maybe basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah, for my brothers.
Yeah, basketball, badminton.
Right.
Yeah, and ping pong. That's what usually we
the main
play.
sports.
Yeah, but
swimming, I think.
Yeah, swimming is quite good.
Don't worry, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine. I'll be able to find a place to do sports.
We'll find a quite good swimming pool in the Fudan.
Yeah, pretty sure. Not worried about swimming. Yeah, but now that you mentioned your brother, I actually wanted to talk more about because I have a sister myself. Or do you have siblings?
No, I'm the only child.
the lone child.
Yeah.
But then, do you think how much of an impact do you think does either siblings or like friends? Do they make? Is there like healthy competition? Do they push you in a positive way, or like it negatively affects you? Like if your brother or sister or your close friend is like very good, has very good grades, high achiever, blah blah blah, and would that positively or negatively affect you?
For me, it will be like both negatively and also positively. Because my brother is very different from what I'm interested in. He's really good at science and physics, maths, he's now studying in Shanghai as well, and he like swept away all the national awards in mainland China. Basically, it's like the school team and now.
Is he at Fudan?
No, it's Shanghai 交大.
Oh.
Yeah. It's also a really good
Top university.
And my cousin was in Fudan, and now she's in Tsinghua. And so my whole family, all of my siblings, they are really smart, and they got into top institutions in mainland China. And there will be definitely a competition kind of going on, and if maybe for ourselves we didn't realize, but now we realize more because our parents and also my cousin, they would talk about Greece. They would like talk about all those achievements that our siblings that they had in the past academic year, and they will talk about you as well, and they will talk about them. So you will definitely see this kind of comparison, and it's a Chinese thing, I guess. Yeah.
Chinese and Asian, but more so Chinese thing. Yeah, so you will definitely feel that pressure. That's why I don't really want to go back to like sit them in the same table and to talk about that. It's really adds you extra pressure because I'm alone in here in Hong Kong. They're all in mainland China, and it's already difficult for me to adapt my life here because Hong Kong was quite a lot. And I have to like go through all these by myself. And when I got home, I only wanted to like relax. I don't want to talk about those achievements that I had, even though I know it's good. But I don't want to like bring back this kind of pressure to me. So but it's a good way that push you forward. But you have to know that you really enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, it's not going to last for long. The others just pushing you, and if they don't push you, you stop, and there's no progress. But if you really like what you learn, like me, then you will make progress, even though others, they don't push you. So the environment is very important. But don't push yourself too hard. There's no point to push yourself too hard. There's only point when you see yourself that you know that this is what I wanted to learn. This is what I'm pursuing. Then that's the only way that you can succeed. Do you feel happy you don't have siblings?
Of course.
Of course.
So people from me, I divided them in two parts. One is Michael, like my classmates from the same major. In this situation, I know you speak of much better English than me. I feel and the big pressure, like peer pressure. But no, come to my friends, my cousins. We are not at a race, just like we start different things, different subjects, different interests. There's nothing to be compared, but the time I found they are in top university like that, it's maybe 1 second I will feel a little bit jealous.
It's very common.
Yeah.
Very common.
Common sense.
Don't compare, don't compare yourself with others. Only compare it with yourself. That's really what matters. Don't do that. I know that there are people around me who see what I achieved and see all the kind of ups and downs, and I'm doing much better than them, and they will maybe feel a little bit, pressure around me. But I would say keep yourself in an environment that you have this kind of healthy competition, not someone who's trying to be jealous or just don't put yourself in a context that you will feel uncomfortable. Because last semester I do have people that around me, perhaps because of jealousy or I don't know, makes me really uncomfortable, and you have to hang out with them, group project, that kind of stuff. You don't have a choice, so there will be people around you, those kind of people, but don't let them affect you, and just focus on the work, and you will definitely get what you want.
But I must say, if you feel a little bit jealousy, that's normal. It's not something
Yeah.
like evil. I think
It's
everyone
humanity.
feels that.
It's human.
Yes.
It's
It's human.
So it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's how you use that, jealousy or whatever feeling, right? It depends. Like you said healthy competition. Healthy competition is sort of comparing yourself with others.
Yeah.
I guess for me, I feel like it's always the degree between the two. Like you could feel, when you're not as good as others, there are two, we talk about haters. I talked about haters before. Like haters, basically, they see me or they see any other, like people that are a lot more successful than me. The more successful you are, the more haters you get. And then
that also defines success. Because if you are not good at anything, then people won't.
I feel like
people won't be jealous.
You actively make that decision of whether when you see someone better than you, whether you want to be a hater or you want to improve yourself. Because if you're a hater, you don't get to that level yourself. You try to tell them, oh, what you're doing is even when they're doing great, you tell them, oh, maybe your book is crap. Why are you studying so hard? You don't spend any time. You're not cool or anything. You try to bring others down to your level. But at the same time, it depends. Even if my sibling, if my sister or your brother is super smart, you could use that to positively. You could learn from them. I feel like. I feel like there's definitely they succeed, or whatever success means, they succeed for a reason, right? They get to where they are for a reason. So if you have a sibling or a friend, you could definitely, instead of only hating them or feeling jealous about them, I feel like you could try to learn from them and hopefully surpass them. But then it's a way of learning from them instead of pure hate and jealousy.
The hate and jealousy that I feel is maybe perhaps some people in school, but not my sibling.
Not my sibling.
Of course, not my sibling.
I feel like siblings, you would want your family to do well. There's no reason for
and they also feel genuinely happy about your achievement.
Yeah,
but
they wouldn't want you to fail.
Yeah, but for people around you, maybe your classmates in school, they might have different thoughts, but don't let them affect you. That's my point.
Just focus on yourself.
Yes, because they might lose the target if you're not in that program, and some people wanted to always
Bring you down.
Yes, at anything literally. So there's no point of competing yourself with them. Just focus on your own work.
Also, if you have haters, just ignore them. They are cycles.
Cycles.
Maybe some people will go.
Oh, cycles.
Yeah. Mental. Yeah. But I haven't encountered someone like that.
Knock on wood. You will. When you publish your book,
you will have haters.
You will have haters.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Just one last question and then wrap it up. It's very short. Is there one book or film or TV series, podcast, YouTube, Bilibili channel, anything that you want to recommend to the people that are watching? Or even if it's not these books or whatever, is there one person that inspired you in some way that you think would benefit others to look at them?
I don't spend too much time on YouTube.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be social media. That's why I said books or whatever that maybe gave you some sort of boost mentally at some point in your lives. Maybe that person could be yourself. Yeah, I think it could. It could be your past self.
Yeah.
I'm searching.
Maybe it's because I think I
It's your past self.
Yeah. But the book that I read and those writers that I like, some of them say very great things, but I don't. Maybe later I will have this kind of the only one who inspired me for my career path or that kind of stuff. I think I'm still in a process of knowing myself I'm making progress, and it's still a process of exploring. So there's no end, and to that I would say, in humanities, that's also what I learned, to be more open-minded, because humanities really like open up to a new world that I have never been able to see before in high school or like maybe in mainland China. So I would say maybe myself, but later on I might have an idol of that kind of person. Yeah, for me, I don't spend too much time on YouTube or Bilibili or podcasts. I spend pretty much time writing essays and papers, reading. So
It's always good to love yourself. You're Cristiano Ronaldo.
yeah, I love myself.
Yeah, it's good to have that. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm a quick reader. I must say, in the holidays, I almost finish a book in a day, every day like that. Yeah, I'm a quick reader. So I will just suggest you to know something about linguistics. Just open a Google search website and type in and do search. That's what enlightened my life. Yeah.
This was back in high school, you mean, or now?
High school is the early you know better. Yeah.
Right. But you started this habit in
You mean reading?
like Google searching on linguistics. When did you start doing that?
In my first semester in year 2. Yeah.
Right.
Year 2. Just not only linguistics, just get some information. I think it's very important for us, especially nowadays, to get information.
But I have to say that we don't lack of information now. We have too many information, and that is the thing that we need to know and to understand, and also to like filter out some kind of other information. So it's difficult to, like in humanities, how do we define choose? It's something that is deeper.
Choose.
It's
to choose something.
Choose. It's
How do you spell it?
真相, 真理.
Truth.
Truth.
And it's a difficult thing that we learn, and it's the process that you search for meaning. And it's very profound, and it's very long-term kind of process, and there's no end to it. So I would say it's really a lesson that you have to learn for your life. And for me, it's never going to be enough. I would definitely explore like more, and I would also encourage you to do more. But at the same time, be open-minded and be careful about what you see on news, perhaps, and just to do more research and to read more and learn more, because we are in this kind of digital world, perhaps. So, yeah, I think that's pretty important.
Be open-minded. That's the most important thing.
And that's what I learned in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I think that's about it for today. These ladies have been speaking for the best part of 2 hours, haven't eaten anything, drank anything, so I've got to stop it so they could rest. Today is New Year's Eve, right? Yeah, and so I'm inviting guests over for dinner, and then I force them to make this 2-hour long video. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Before we end this though, I'm gonna help them plug something, because Diane actually has a website on HKBU's academia site. Is that right? I'm not exactly sure the platform. Academia.
Academia.edu.
Let me put that down below or right up here somewhere, and go check that out, because this is an author in the making. I'm gonna get your first. I'm gonna have my book signed by you when you publish your first.
No, just some papers. The 3 papers that I published in the past 2 years. And I will, maybe in the coming year, I will publish creative works. So that would be literary works instead of papers. But I have also 1 paper upcoming early next year, that I will upload another conference paper the conference that I virtually attended in Paris, a paper about feminism and also film. So feel free to check it out and follow. I also built up the website not quite long. I mean, last year, right after the semester, in the summer. So yeah.
You did coding, or you used some of those templates?
No, just sign up for an account, and also your research area, the area that you are interested in, and follow kind of professionals, and also post your papers.
Okay. So this is an author and academic in the making.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
future to be, right?
Yeah.
Future to be. And
So,
you can just Google my name.
yeah, remember the name, Diane Zhang.
Yeah, you can.
And
Google my name.
yeah, Faye, you want to plug anything? Socials or anything? No, nothing.
I'm more likely to be an invisible person.
Invite what?
Invisible.
Invisible.
Yeah, invisible.
That's good. I thought you had like your old social media.
Yeah, I highly deleted it.
You deleted it. Okay. It's good. It's all good. But yeah, I think that's all we have for today. Hopefully you learned something. I learned a lot, to say the very least. So hopefully Diane, she will be doing further studies. You might not be coming back to Hong Kong. This might be the very last time they're going to see you on camera. Yeah. So but hopefully we get to talk again in the future, on camera, off camera, whatever. But that's it for the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I started saying 一键三连 to my Billy viewers. So 一键三连, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright guys, peace.
Bye.